Hello, everyone. Today I am joined by Swati, a young and talented filmmaker from our community. Swati, how did you discover your passion for filmmaking?
Actually, I always had a love for storytelling, and since I was a kid, only from that time when I was listening to stories from my mother and my grandmother, and the women around me, since I was a child, the sense of enjoying a story, listening to it, and then creating story. Even when I was a kid, also I was creating stories in my own dreamy way, and I used to create those stories. And slowly, when I become an adult, then there was a sense of more maturity in learning what is storytelling, what it is to tell, narrate a story and see the excitement in people. And then eventually, I worked in media, and I worked in many media houses. I worked as an radio jockey. I worked in television, and I worked in many forms of media. And there, so I used to do storytelling shows and all. So from there, the love for cinema started. The love for telling a story with the audio visual mode, and how can you tell it effectively. And then it was like an organic way. Organically, I started enjoying, loving films, and I explored a passion for filmmaking, and I started making films. So I used to watch a lot of films, and especially there were certain filmmakers, certain films. After watching them, I felt like I must make them. I must create something. I must create a film. So, of course, it didn't happen quickly. It took a long time to become a filmmaker. It took a long time, and I didn't have the courage to do it. I sometimes I used to think that, okay, I don't have the gadgets, the camera. It's very costly. It will be difficult for me, and it's not a conventional career. You must be knowing, like a conventional career are like to become a doctor or engineer or something like that. But then the passion was so strong that eventually I got the courage to pick up a mobile phone and start shooting a film of my own. I didn't care for anything. I just had to tell a story, and I get flashes of images, or some idea or something, some seed comes into my mind, and immediately I decided to pick the mobile phone, and I shot my first film, and from there started the journey of becoming a filmmaker.
That's a great story. What projects are you currently working on?
Okay, so currently I'm working on a feature film. I have done a lot of short films already, and I wanted to go to the next level. For that, I'm working on a feature film. I've written the screenplay, and it that film is actually a crime thriller. It's quite like the British films of that era, post-World War era, that time when we had those crime thrillers. I was quite inspired by those films, so I'm working on that film, and it has a lot of mystery and thrill element in that, and I have added very narrative devices, and it's the first time I'm following a proper screenplay to make the film. So it is under this is one of the project. I'm also working on some other short films, horror shorts, which I have made, and again it will I'll be shooting it using some thrill element and all. And yes, some new technologies and techniques, animation, VFX, or some cinematographic techniques, or the acting things I'll be adding on them.
That's great. What are the biggest challenges that you encounter?
If I have to make a film in a bigger way, I need a lot of money, I need fund, I need actors, I need great camera, lights. Then only I can make a film which is of a great value, like which I can sell it, professionally, or I can distribute it, or I can put it in a bigger platform. So that is always a challenge. And especially when I was trying to make this feature film, I faced a lot of difficulties. Even if you approach like the established actors and all, people from the industry will not recognize you, and they will not, there are a lot of issues in that. So that was a problem, and getting the technicians and getting the fund for it. And sometimes also the mental thing is also there. Like sometimes you think that whether I should be a filmmaker or not, whether I should do it or not, because as such society does not accept it as a conventional career. Even people close to you are also not supporting you. And sometimes you doubt yourself, like you don't know whether it's there is any future or not, what will I get out of it. But then I have realized that we should just do what we love doing, and we should continue doing it without thinking of what profit we are getting. And eventually the more you do, and actually I had heard a very I don't remember the name, but a very famous filmmaker said that only way you can become a filmmaker is by making films. That's all. No nonsense, just make films and show up, find whatever you have, and that is the thing. So mental challenge is there, technical challenge is there, and actors, finding the actors to do it. It's the challenge for every filmmaker to, manage your situation. So what I have done in my case is that I have become the actor, I have become the editor, director, cinematographer, everything. I've done it myself. And I mostly make films of no budget or low budget, or with minimum expenditure, and using things around me. So that has kind of helped. And eventually, if I earn something, and I add up the money, and then slowly I can buy things, and I can increase the production value of the films I'm making. And that's what I'm trying to do. Let's see, hopefully things will be good in future.
You are very creative.
Thank you.
What future plans do you have?
I want to grow as a filmmaker. I want to make better films. And also, I want to make more films which are female centric cinema. Like, I feel the cinema today needs more stories about women, strong women, and which can inspire the young girls, the female population, which can give them stronger heroes, role models for themselves. Because sometimes I wonder why are women so stereotyped on the screen. And I want to tell the stories of my story, the stories of women I have seen around me. So this is what I plan to do. And also I plan to grow technically. So I'm learning animation, VFX, and many technologies, and I feel technology helps you a lot, especially for independent filmmakers. Technology helps you a lot. I want to explore different aspects of cinema. Like, see, I have been very much inspired by filmmakers like Akira Kurosawa, Christopher Nolan, Wonker Wai, and we have Tarkovsky. He's an amazing filmmaker. Tarantino also. There are filmmakers who have done completely different kind of cinema. So I want to create a different kind of cinema which is very artistic, which is very creative. It's a kind of cinema which calms you, which soothes you. It gives a philosophical attitude towards life, and it takes you to a new realm, like something which is sublime, which uplifts your soul, and makes you think beyond what you are thinking, which gives that power to the audience. I want to make some sublime kind of cinema or art. Along with that, I want to give social message with the same time. So I have these kind of thoughts and dreams to make these kind of films. And let's see, hopefully. And also, I want to grow technologically a lot, and I'm learning a lot of like softwares and everything. So I hope I have to mix everything. And for that, I think as a woman, female filmmakers also have to face a lot of challenge. So let's hope. I hope things will be on my side.
They will surely be on your side. I'm looking forward
Yeah.
to see those films, honestly.
Thank you.
Based on your experience, what advice would you give to other filmmakers?
First, on my experience, see, I wasted a lot of time thinking about the best things to happen to get the funds, or approaching people, especially. I wasted a lot of time. I could have become a filmmaker much earlier. So I want to say, don't waste time. Whatever you have, whether it's a mobile phone or a camera, whatever you have, just use it and make films as quickly as possible. Don't wait, don't waste time. Like, sometimes we don't have the money to attend a film school, and we think that, okay, until I go to a film school, it becomes an obstacle. Even I have been in that situation. So don't wait for that. I have been learning from YouTube. I read a lot of film stuff. I read online. I watch videos. I self teach myself all the time. So teach yourself and use the resources around you. Like, see, if you see my films which I've made, I have used all the objects around me, like the small objects in my house. And actors also, see, I was rejected by professional actors. They were not willing to act in my film. So I took help from my mother, and my friends. And they don't have any knowledge of acting, but they did very well. sometimes we think we need professional actors, but if you use people around you, their acting is very natural. So you can use your friends and you can make films. And we should, another thing is that we should start with short films, really short films, as short as possible, because then then the film gets made very quickly, very fast. It gets made, and once you make a film, you get a lot of confidence once you click that last button of that. When you're doing the editing, the last button, it's over, then you feel like so relaxed. Okay, now my baby is like, she has come to earth and I've created my baby and she's out in the world and it's now her journey. So you give your power, your light, everything to the baby, and she's going to shine in the world. So I think filmmakers need a lot of courage. They need a lot of love inside them. You need a lot of love for cinema, and it should be very pure. Your passion should be very pure. Otherwise, independent filmmakers like me, we face lot of difficulties. Nobody supports you. All the things go wrong sometimes. So you need a lot of courage inside you, and only with that courage you can make films. And another thing is that you should constantly learn. Every day you should learn something. Every day read about filmmaking, cinema, what kind of films have been made, who is doing what, from wherever if you are going to a film school, great. Otherwise, from anywhere you can learn. So we should learn every day, and the more we learn, the more we grow. And we should make a film all the time. You should constantly be making films, or you should be writing. Even screenplay writing, I have started. I'm writing novel. I'm writing screenplays. With the process of writing also, you learn a lot. I had heard this line from Akira Kurosawa, who is one of my idol. So he said that, like, suppose a filmmaker is not having any money, so you can make a film with a pen. He said that you can just write. When you write a whole film, the whole screenplay of the film, then you know what the film is all about, what is happening where. There you become a filmmaker if you don't have the money. And a filmmaker should read. These are the two things I picked from him, from Kurosawa, that you should read a lot and you should write a screenplay, no matter how shitty it is. So once you write it, you understand what filmmaking is all about. So I have been doing all these things. I'm a self-taught filmmaker.
You're very hardworking.
Thank you.
Swati, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.